So you've drawn a house. It's a grey-let house under this. This is a student, Jenny Huyn. Thanks, Jenny Huyn, for the house here. You can see that Jenny has gone ahead and put all these different tones and colours of different values, meaning darks, lights and mediums, to create this 3D effect. If the house was all one flat brown colour, you would not really have that sense of form. We can obviously see that there is a light source coming from this direction, and as it's hitting here, it's a lighter here. You can't see the light's not reaching this part, so it's going to be darker. Okay. How to now import. Now, once you've done your first pass, now we can start to look at textures. So what we need to do is find the texture. So in this case, it's going to be wood panel. Simply you download that from, you might find something on Google at this stage. It's best to take your own photos, but a lot of people do Google sort of generic textures from different websites. Make sure it is about a minimum of 500 by 500 pixels. And if you go to Google, you'll find that it's marked down here. Okay, so never take it from there, even though it says that, that's a thumbnail, it's going to be very pixelated. You need to click on the actual image, then you can download that to your, a file, desktop or whatever, and then you can import that. So I've opened that simply just by doing open and found that title. Now you can see it's in a different tab at the moment. Just get rid of some of these other ones so we can see it. Sure, just a little bit of a painting there. So we have the wood panel here, and I'm just going to simply drag that out, okay? So, Move Tool, we know by now the Move Tool is at the top there, or Control V. I'm just going to simply drag this across, and now I'm just going to put that back up there and go to the house here, okay? So now we have our texture on top. Now you can see it's not on top of all the layers because it's going through the roof, so I'm just going to drag it up on top of all those layers. At the moment I'm going to drag down the opacity so I can see the house underneath. Now this wood panel, you might need to copy and paste a couple, so you can simply just right click there and duplicate layer, and now we have a second version of this just in case you need to sort of join them together to stretch out over the whole image. We'll see how we go with this one. So now I can I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, get rid of the layers here, Z for zoom, or down here of course, get the Move Tool and sort of line it up at the corner here. Now I'm not going to have it going over this section there, so I'm going to drag it up a bit, so you put it sort of to the corner that you want. Now I'll just do it this way so you can see, edit and transform it. Okay, so I'm transforming the scale, so I'm just going to simply stretch it to about the size that I want, like that. Now I can see it's not in alignment, okay, so the good thing about Photoshop these days is it has this perspective sort of one here, and so now I can stretch this into, and now it's going to fit. Okay, so you can see that it would be probably best for me, and I need to press enter to do this, to go back, and I'll just press Control T as a shortcut to editing, drag it all the way up, why not, and press enter, go back to the perspective one again, and just sort of refine this space here. Okay, you can see it's going over the top of this other stuff, and we'll manipulate that a little bit, but now basically we can see that generally it's going to the vanishing point set, the imaginary vanishing point now because it's not on the drawing, set over here. Alright, so I press OK there. Now I just want it over that wall, so here's another tool here. So if you've got the quick, this is the Magic Wand tool, it's the fourth tool down, and this is just going to simply check and tick a certain part of the drawing. Okay, so I'm going to go to the actual drawing itself. And now I've got that whole wall isolated, and what I can do from this position is I can go to select and inverse that selection. So at the moment if I delete, and I'll do this as an example, I can delete that Let's try again. I can delete. Oh, hang on. I'm on the wrong layer. Always check you're on the right layer. So I'll just undo that there. That's fine. Go to the correct layer, meaning this wood texture, delete that, and it's the wrong part. We want to get rid of this part. So, of course, then we need to go to the selection, because this is a selection, and then inverse that selection, and now I delete that. And we have the texture over the top, okay? So this is not a bad way to do it. Now, the opacity is at 42. You can sort of play with that, because you want to keep the tone. You wouldn't have it at 100%. You can see how it sort of stands out and isn't it's natural. You may mess with and explore different these sorts of effects that you can put on Photoshop. So the multiply makes it a little bit darker, but it makes it transparent, so you can see the wood texture underneath. I'm going to just drag it up so you can see even the higher it goes. Okay, so but there's a whole lot of different ones you could maybe potentially try. That's not a bad one. That would be your choice, or you could just simply make it normal and check out what sort of range you might put in terms of the transparency. So that's what it was before, and now we have this sort of rustic sort of wooden take on our house. And then we'll keep going through the different textures. You might get, slats or slate, roof tiles for the top here. You might sort of get concrete or stone to go around the sides. Of course, this one now I can reposition on the other side, go back, use the perspective tool, and simply drag that into position as I did on this side. And you keep on going until we get the final result. Okay, hope that was informative. Play around with it, have fun, and we'll see you next time.